Welcome to Martini Time, the happy time of the day, beautiful day here in Blackstone. So I wanted to talk some more about the professor and the judge. I've been writing about that today. I think I talked about it last night. And it's about the Judge Kavanaugh and Professor Basley Ford and the upcoming meeting of the professor and the judge, and what this means metaphorically. I don't think it's. I want to share how I see the world, and I see the world metaphorically, which means that I see the universal in the particular. So the particular is, of course, this event, a particular event when the professor meets the judge. But it's also now becoming and will become a social metaphor of empowerment. Now the title of this talk is speaking the word. You speak your word to heal the wound. Well, this is my favorite teaching from Joseph Campbell. Has always been with the Arthurian romance and the quest for the Grail, the Holy Grail. So, just to briefly remind you of that, the Fisher King, the Grail King, had a wound in his side by a lance that would not heal. Or maybe it was in his groin. Either way, this is a mythic wound, the wound in the side of Christ. The pain body in Eckhart Tolle that won't heal. The wound of trauma. The wound of regret, the wound of guilt, the wound of something in our past that won't heal. And no matter how we talk it up, no matter how we review the event in our mind, no matter how we reenact it with our friends, it doesn't heal. It doesn't heal, you see. So we're interested in healing this wound, this tension in the mind, this tension in the self, this split. A wound is a split. You see, a wound. A wound is a division, a split in unity. Unity is divided. The one has become two, and it can't become one again. Now, when this is in our psyche, in our self, you see, we have to be one. When I don't feel the one, when I don't feel myself, I'm not feeling the one. I'm divided. When I don't feel my center, you see, I feel split. I'm confused. So should I do this or that? I'm in the deer in the headlight. I feel self-conscious. I worry about, am I doing the right thing? Am I okay? Am I okay? Are you okay? You see, there's a worry there. There's a fear that I'm not okay. Some okayness means I'm okay. Not okay means I'm split. You see, I'm two me's. And I can't choose to be one because they're both me, mutually dependent, but opposite. So it creates a wow. You see, 1 minute I do that, next minute I do that. So we create ways to heal. We create ways and rituals and compulsions to heal this wound. So now the professor and the judge are going to meet, and it's about a wound. The professor was wounded when she was 15 years old, and it didn't heal. So how does she heal it? Obviously, it's still there. She didn't forget about it. Oh, it's 30 years ago. Forget about it. Well, obviously it didn't. She couldn't forget about it. It still festers, still there, you see. No, I don't want to get into why she's doing anything. I'm just trying to use her now that she's gone social. She's metaphorical fair game. You see. So she's basically, and the way I'm describing this metaphorically is that she wants to speak her word. She couldn't speak her word when she was attacked. Right? So that's a metaphor right there for men putting their hand over the mouths of women and saying, you can't speak. You can't speak your word. You can't be who you are. You can't be in your center. You have to be divided between me and you. You have to be conflicted. You have to be shamed. You have to be made guilty so you don't speak your word. You see, when you're shamed, you can't speak your word. When you feel ashamed, you can't speak your word. You can't heal. When you feel guilty and shamed, when you blame yourself, see, the woman who's attacked is caught in a double bind, where she feels she was innocent. I'm innocent. I didn't want this. I'm innocent. But then society says, oh, you did it. You attracted him. You shouldn't have worn that dress. You shouldn't have been walking. You shouldn't have been wagging your hips like that. You did it. So this splits the psyche. Now the woman feels, I'm innocent, but I'm guilty. I'm innocent, and I'm guilty. The world thinks I'm guilty. I feel I'm innocent, but I'm split. When I see the world, when I see myself through the eyes of other, I see myself as being ashamed. When I see myself from my own eye, I'm innocent, you see. So that her eyes are split. It's like walleye. It's like one looking there, one looking there, you see. One eye coming at her from society says, you're guilty. The other eye is from inside. It says, I'm not. It's ambiguous. I'm guilty / innocent. That creates a vortex. Wow, wow, wow. 1 minute I feel innocent. No, I'm guilty. You see? How do you get out of that? You speak your word. Speak but the word and your soul will be healed is my favorite Catholic prayer. I'm not Catholic, but when it comes to that, I think I am. Speak, but that doesn't mean someone else speaks your word. It means you speak your word. Speak your word. Speak but the word and your soul will be healed. Is telling yourself, that is an affirmation. That is a prayer telling you to speak your word to heal the wound that won't heal. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. But it's a split of the me into two me's that contradict each other. They give opposite commandments. One me says you're innocent, the other one says you're guilty. But it's a social me. It's a social me that's created by the social image of myself that is dependent upon society's affirmation and the avoidance of society's negation of me. We all get caught in that. So how do you speak your word? Well, you have to go back and reenact the rape. So what is Professor Ford, Lastly Ford doing? She's willingly going back into a situation where she will be shamed again. She's willing to go back and be consciously shamed. See, before she didn't willingly become raped, but now she is willingly going to be raped, politically or socially, psychologically, isn't it? See, so you see what's going on here. This is the theme. This is the message of the cross. So Jesus willingly, joyously participates in the crucifixion. So she is willingly participating in her own crucifixion. That heals. That is the resurrection. That is the word. You see, that's the word. When you can go into the funeral pyre, when you can step into the crucifixion and speak from your heart, because now you're not afraid of it. Now you're not afraid of the eye that will shame you. Now you're not split. You're speaking with one voice. I am not, or I forget whatever she says, but she speaks her truth. So truth is undivided, and truth is one voice. And that is the word that heals the wound that won't heal. And this is a very practical thing, because we all have wounds. We all have this yada, yada, yada going on in our head, trying to recreate or reenact the situation to make it go.